Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Thank you so much for being here. Welcome to my very first educational video that is going to be designed to basically cross out, delete, cancel all of the BS, health and fitness and nutritional information that is out there that I know creates so much confusion for you guys. So today we are talking tracking calories versus meal plans and which is better, which is the more efficient method, which is king basically. So either way, you've probably had some experience with one or the other. You may have worked with a coach who handed you meal plans to follow and you had to eat those foods day in and day out and stick to that meal plan in order to get your results. You may have bought a generic meal plan online. You may have, God help you, use MyFitnessPal to generate a meal plan or some other kind of tracking app. Whatever it may be, you may have had some experience with those meal plans and knowing that essentially it will set your meals for you. You then just eat exactly what it tells you and eat the amounts that it tells you to eat on your meal plan. Macro tracking, on the other hand, if you are not familiar with it, is essentially tracking your macronutrients and your calories via weighing your food and then inputting it to an app. And then basically you're using your macro skeleton in terms of your goals that you're putting into that app, as well as your calories that you're then working off tracking your food throughout the day in order to meet those numbers. Now, I'm going to start off by saying that my opinion on this is not black and white and not exactly a straightforward one, but we'll get into all the nitty and gritty of that as we work through. So personally, as a coach, and what I do with my clients is macro tracking primarily. I am a big fan of understanding your nutrition and understanding the education behind the foods that you are eating and how they're linked to you achieving your goals or not achieving your goals. And let me make this very clear for you. A set meal plan that you just copy and paste and eat every single week, whatever you're told to eat, is by no means going to teach you anything about nutrition. You may achieve some results, yes, but you have no idea of how you got there. So you get to the end of using that meal plan and maybe achieving your results, and you have no idea what the fuck to do moving forwards if you have to eat outside of that meal plan. So that's why personally, I'm not a fan of just setting meal plans for my clients, because it teaches them nothing, and it also makes them then, in my opinion, and this is again a sweeping statement and very generalized, so take it with a grain of salt, but it kind of can teach that fear around different foods, because you feel like the foods that you were eating before maybe were the reason that you weren't achieving your goal or that you gained weight or whatever that may be, and then you're scared to eat those foods that you know are off plan or weren't included on your meal plan because you feel like they will be the things that will undo your results, where that is by no means the case. Okay, so I've thrown some shade obviously at meal plans. I'm now going to throw some shade on macro tracking before we move forwards. So I want to make this really clear, and this is something that I think a lot of people can't quite grasp. Macro tracking and calorie tracking is by no means your way of life and your new way of eating. It is purely just an educational tool for a period of time to help guide you towards a specific result. Now, when not approached properly, it can also have the same effect as a meal plan, in the sense that people get scared that if they're not weighing their foods, they're not going to achieve their results, which again, that's not the case. It's a way to help you visually see and understand the nutritional value and the calorie content of different foods, so you can confidently transition away from tracking and into intuitive eating. For example, if you have never tracked your macros before, you would have no idea what 150 grams of protein spread across your day would look like, or what that same 30 grams of protein would look like on your plate visually. Macro tracking allows you to then look at amounts of food on your plate and be able to gauge, oh, does that food have enough protein? Probably not, let me add some more. Oh, I know that I've just trained, so I better be hitting that 30 grams of carbs. What the fuck does 30 grams of carbs look like on my plate? Again, I don't know that until I've macro tracked for a period of time. I guess this brings us to the question of what is the best approach then, because I guess, Chloe, you have just thrown shade on both approaches and given us no answers, so I'm getting there. So in my opinion, the best approach is actually a blended approach. So it's one that combines macro and calorie tracking with utilizing meal plans in more of a sense of a meal skeleton. So often when it comes to my clients, I will set their macros and their calories for them to track and meet. But on the other hand, I will also initially provide them with meal skeletons. So these can be used to directly translate your calories or your macros into a quote unquote day on your plate, so you can see those numbers in food sense straight away and compare the two. So it can be really helpful to use a meal plan for a period of time, especially at the start of your journey or at the start of trying to hit a goal, because that on the one hand is going to reduce the mental fatigue. You're still getting used to your maybe new training program. You're maybe trying to implement new habits. You're wrapping your head around different routines that you're trying to start and finish or remove things, whatever that may be. You're essentially having all of these things shift at once when it comes to starting a goal, and being able to remove that burden of having to track your nutrition straight away and try and hit those numbers can be really beneficial. To utilize that meal plan, lean on it as a skeleton, and then know that it's not set in stone. You can easily swap elements of those foods in and out, but it's going to translate to the macros that you know that you need to hit. Then once you're confident and you feel like the rest is kind of solidified, you then transition away from that meal plan. So you move into more of a tracking approach where you're starting to maybe only utilize elements of that meal skeleton and then swap out entire dishes in your day, making sure that you're tracking those foods so you know that you are still hitting the macros needed to achieve your goals, whatever that goal may be. You can also use a meal plan in the sense of a plan for a week. So you can use them as a way to, again, take that mental fatigue away. So I would say get a week worth of food when you're meal planning, input it into MyFitnessPal or whatever tracking app you use to make sure obviously it's hitting your macros and calories if you are tracking. But then you know, okay, cool, I've got 2 days worth of eating here that I have mapped out for myself. Actually, I'm just going to eat these 2 days and kind of alternate them for the next 5 or 7 days for this week. And I know that I tracked them on the first 2 days. I've got my meals weighed out. I've kind of set my own meal plan for the week. And I know that I no longer have to track for the week because I've tracked these 2 days and I'm just rinse and repeating those meals. So again, that's when that blended approach really comes into play. I hope you found this video helpful. If you have any questions whatsoever, comment them down below or send me a DM on Instagram. I will be more than happy to have a chat. If you are considering tracking your macros or your calories, please, 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 I cannot stress this enough, make sure you consult the right healthcare professional, whether that is a dietitian or a nutritionist. They are the only people out there that can set your nutrition for you. Your PT in your local gym cannot. Buying a generic one or using an online calculator cannot. So please, if you are going to take the tracking approach, do take the time to set it up properly by contacting that correct professional. I am more than happy to assist, of course, if you want to send me a DM on Instagram. That's something that I can also help you do. Same goes for a meal plan. If that is something that you are looking into, make sure that it is aligned with your goals and that you understand how that is going hand in hand with your macro tracking to smash those goals. Have a beautiful, beautiful day, guys. I will see you in the next video.